Today I'm going to do the installation for my rough country hidden winch mount. Alright, let's get into it. The first step is just going to be taking my skid plate off so I can access everything. I could jack it up, I don't really need to. 15 mil to take the skid plate off, and that is only 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. So I'm going to take the skid plate off and see if I have enough room to cut what I need to cut. There's one. And yes, I do have the smallest garage in the world, but for the past few years I've been using this as a garage gym. These tow hooks are nice to grab onto. There we go. Alright, so this is what I'm gonna have to cut. This and grind this, I guess, flat. Okay, I guess I jumped the gun a little bit. This plate here in the back is gonna stay on. So you're supposed to leave the 2 rear bolts. I was just supposed to loosen them, and then you push your skid plate forward. So I gotta put these back so it secures this. So I'm gonna do that right now. See, that's why you guys are watching this video, so you can learn from my mistakes. Save yourself some time while I learn how to do this. There, and right here. That's the fun thing about a lifted vehicle. I have ramps that I built, but they're under the snow. That's smart, eh? There. Alright, so next step, I gotta cut these. It says to not cut the brake lines, or the wires. I think on this side, yeah. See, there's wire. The wiring harness here, or the brake lines. So you gotta cut all this without cutting anything there, and you gotta make this flush as well. See how it goes. This blade's not quite long enough, I don't think. I'm gonna need a longer blade because I'm not. Yeah, I need a longer blade. Hopefully I got one. We're going a little stronger. So if you do this, get yourself some longer blades than these, or a small like air grinder or something. This is not ideal. That was close to the wire. Be careful. Oh my. There we go. There you go. I just broke the weld off. There. I won't have to grind the top one now. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can't knock these off. I have to cut this too, flush. So I think I'm just gonna put my earplugs in and grind away. Good enough. I'm gonna clean that up, paint it, and I'm done for the night. So you just want to paint the exposed metal. So I'm gonna just clean the area with brake cleaner because I actually have undercoating there, which is good for it, I guess, but I'm just gonna clean this up, let it evaporate, get the grease off, and then I'm gonna spray it with some rust check paint. There. Well, that's the paint I'm using, trim clad rust paint. flat black. As long as it's rust paint, you're not gonna see it anyway. That's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna let that dry for maybe 10 minutes while I put some tools away in the grinder and all that. If you do this, get yourself some long metal Sawzall blades or just a small air grinder, because, well, you saw me struggling with it, and I did like almost nick the wiring harness a couple times. So that's why in the instructions it says don't cut the brake line. But from what I can see, it's just so that the winch can clear, because obviously with these frame extensions, the winch would be hitting up against that anyway, to be in the way. I don't know why those are there. Maybe there's other accessories that could use them. Well, I won't have them anymore. So the fun thing is now, if you did order your winch and your plate, you can do this while you wait, and then when it comes in, the rest of the install is going to be easy. All right, guys, so day 2. Some of the new pieces that come for the modular bumper are these here. They go on the sides and they cover basically where the tow hooks would be for the old plastic bumper. And there's some shims as well that push the modular bumper out a little bit. There's 2 per side. Little plastic tabbies, I'll show you after. So the front of the winch will need to go like this. God, that's heavy. Might as well look at the instructions, I guess. Yeah, that's the grounding cable, so I might as well connect that now before I attach it. It'll be easier. And all the wires kind of run the other way, so I'm just gonna keep the same thing. Okay, so this is a 1/2 inch wrench, in case you're wondering. There, nice and snug. Okay, now we can flip the plate up. There, so you got these 4 square washer nuts. They go in here. There. It's kind of like IKEA furniture, but heavier. There we go. Much better. Okay, so these bolts are 16 mil. There. And just bolt that backwards. Nope. So now I got that mounted on. The next step is basically to mount this up into the Bronco, so I'm going to go get my jack and get everything ready. I'm going to take these plates off. So I'll take the tow hooks off. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 plastic clips and 1 Torx T40. Not the tightest, so it's probably a Torx Plus, I'm not sure. There. Don't lose your hardware. That's all I could find. I don't know if it's a real puller, but that's working. If you don't have one of these, just needle though. Any pliers really will do. There. Didn't break anything. It's actually not too bad. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that to the other side. I clearly missed that. I gotta take these off. I think I was just thrown off because it says remove tow hook hardware. Well, I didn't have tow hooks on this, so. And that is a 16 mil. Okay, makes sense. So these are in there pretty good. There. I highly recommend an extension for this part. I'm gonna get one for the other side. Yeah, I'm gonna go get one. Doesn't need to be a big extension. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side now. So I took the other side off already. It just says to take this off, and then you're supposed to take the rubber grommets, supposed to come off, the isolator or whatever. Just twist and pull. Ah, yeah, it's coming. And once it comes off, you have these spacers that we're gonna put up there, and then you put it back on. There. Perfect. Okay, so I'll do the other, like the intercooler right now, it's just kind of dangling there, but when we jack up the winch, it's gonna squish it in. All right, I'll go do the other side, then we're gonna put the winch up. Just gonna throw all the cabling in the front, it'll be easier to get to. Oh, please be high enough. Good. I gotta get kind of in there and start raising it up. It's back. The intercooler is going to be all the way here, so I'm kind of going to hold that out of the way. This works really well with the jack, though. There, see how that hole's lined up right there? Perfect. I'm just gonna have to try to do it without paying attention to the camera. Please, please. Okay, so I finally got it. The trick is to hold this part and then let the force guide you. It's the only way. So at this point they say not to tighten it too much. Just to, not to snug it, just kind of leave it loose a little bit. There, I'll tighten it up after. I still got to do the other side. We're gonna put the intercooler mounts back in, and you got to line up everything. Like I said, extension really helps here. Alright, so it's not tight, but I'm gonna do the other side and then I'm gonna snug everything up. It's pretty solid. It's coming together. Alright, so now she's attached. Shouldn't be an issue if I let the winch down. Oh, I actually had the Bronco jacked up a little bit. There. So now I got to install the extension for the controller. I worked all day and I'm tired, so I'm gonna do that and I'll end it here for tonight. I'm gonna plug this in and I'm gonna route all the battery cables, well, towards the battery anyway, along with this. These up here. You know what? I will say one thing about a video light. It's pretty awesome for working on your car too. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. What I should have done is zap strapped all three together for the full length. It would have been much easier to pull them up that way, but I did get it anyway. But just a tip for if you guys are doing it, because even now that I have everything, I'm gonna have to go down there and put some zap straps to keep everything tight together. I'm just gonna run them along here. They have to get to the battery and my extension bracket. I'm gonna get as close to the firewall as I can because my plan is to try to run the remote inside the cab so I don't have to pop the hood every time I want to use my remote. Alright, so I'm gonna zap strap everything and then I'll connect the battery and stuff tomorrow. Good morning, guys. Alright, so now I'm going to install the connector. I wanted it to be more towards the firewall because I wanted the controls to go inside, but the length of this extension here won't make it close enough for what I want to do, so I'm just going to put it here for now, and I'm going to order another 4-foot extension to make it that way towards the firewall. But for now, I'm pretty sure this is where it's intended to go. So the angle, you got the battery here, headlight there, just so you can see. I have it coming out here. Just gonna drill a hole in here and have it installed right here, so it'll be right in the front. And what I'm gonna use is this 7/8 hole saw. There we go. That's installed. Lucy trying to be tough. Lucy, shush. Hello. Shush. Hey, shush. I'm anxious to see, just to try it out once I got it plugged in. Still got quite a ways to go with the bumper and all that, but you know, it's funny. It's actually good that I'm doing this. I know a lot of people have had issues with the batteries not being tight enough. This was not tight enough. There. Okay, For now, I'm going to double it up, but I'm going to see if I can't order another nut like that, and I'd be able to connect it right here. Anyway. Is that still... Try to bend this down. There. Okay, winch is connected. We're just going to try it and see if it works. There. Kind of nervous to try this. All right. Here goes nothing. Well, comes out all right. Oh, yeah. It's got a decent speed to it, too. I like this. The wiring's all done. Now we got to take the bumper off to put some spacers in to get the plate up. Oh, we're going to have fun with this thing. Okay, so before we, whoa, I see. Before we put everything, or the skid plates on, I was supposed to get the bumper detached because we need to put some shims out to push the bumper forward a little bit, but I didn't do that right away because I have some lights connected and I didn't want to disconnect everything. So I'm going to try to loosen it and see if I can kind of prop the bumper up. Start with loosening the 6 bolts. So this is a 15 mil socket. Now I understand why the bumper needs to come off. You guys are learning about mistakes. See this? That's where these front tabs are going to mount. So, nope, that's not happening. And yes, it is being propped up by a toilet bucket. Gotta use what you got, right? Okay, I just figured something out. Version 1 didn't have this long skinny piece. Now, because I got version 2 that's supposed to work with the modular bumper, I thought that they made this to fill the gap, but actually they didn't. They modified the skid plate, and this actually fills the gap for if you have the old bumper. So for the mod bumper, you actually don't even need this. I'm going to take this off, and we'll go from there. Now that I have that off, just gonna temporarily put this here. Fighting the weight of the bumper right now. Big shout out to GMAX71 on the Bronco 6G forums. Who gave me a heads up. Like I said, this is kind of like a half version 1, half version 2 kit because it's not really out yet. Just because I'm an ambassador, they sent me the plates to make it work. I still got to figure out the hardware a little bit. These 2 bolts came with the kit. I was just trying to put them in. They're not fitting. You need to buy extra skid plate bolts to fit the modular bumper. Actually, if you wait till the real kit is released, they'll be with it, but I didn't get them. Buddy gave me a heads up. I looked them up. Those bolts are actually on back order. They're only 10 by 30 mil bolts, so I picked some up, and I'm just going to use the lock washers and washers that I got. Thanks, GMAX71. Well, I just ripped something off. Sometimes it pays to get a helper. So for the bottom one here, this is where these new plates come in. And these are just for the modular bumper because if you got the old plastic bumper, this is where your tow hooks mount. Alright. Alright, toilet bucket, don't fail me now. Okay, so now, because of the way the skid plate, the winch goes, they want you to push the bumper out about this thick. I don't know if you can see that. So there's 2 shims per side. You have to put them in the bumper and put the bolts through as you're trying to lift the bumper back into position and put the bolts. So they provided these little plastic tabs. They'll just kind of make sure the bolts don't push out as you're pushing pressure to help you thread them in. So now each bolt has a plastic tab, and all that does is keeps the bolt from pushing back out. Well, rough country engineers at least thought of this. In my experience, engineers trying to make it as hard as possible for the installer. This is actually my light bar. I don't want to squish the wire, so I have to keep that there. Let's get this bumper into place. Whoa. Nice. Okay, I got it loosely into place. Just gotta make sure I'm not pinching wires. Okay, so I had actually pinched a wire for my lights. It's pretty flat now because I had torqued the bumper onto it. Anyway, I fixed that. I'm gonna put these back on now. They should fit this time. And the reason I noticed is I couldn't get it on because this was catching up on the wire. So. These go in pretty easy. There. That's it for that one. One more step. Now to put the fill lead on. Got these big Allen key bolts. Alright, this is a CRV8 Allen key. Seems to fit. Cotter pin. Alright. Let's get the remote and try it. Like I said, eventually I want something different for where this remote is. I want to kind of leave it connected inside the cab. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Now I guess I'm gonna have to leave it with that. A little tension. Is that what people do with winches? I don't know. It's my first winch. Make sure you check out the next video so you can see me test this baby out. And I know everybody's gonna ask, so I'm just gonna put the link for the toilet bucket in the description. Hopefully this helped some of you if you're planning on installing one of these hidden winches. It's by far the nicest looking winch setup for the Bronco. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.